And a pleasant good evening to you and yours, and welcome to the Brevard Sports Network. We are live from Kelly Stadium, Ford Field, Catherine Ford Field, where tonight it is FHSAA Class 1A Region 2 Lacrosse Semifinals. I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski, joined alongside my broadcast partners tonight from Florida Lacrosse News, Lee Rogenberg, and joining you in the second and third quarters tonight will be our very own Jackson Robb. First of all, let me welcome in the man that brought the rain with him last time, but it is beautiful here tonight, Mr. Lee Rogenberg. Lee, how are you?
Alan, just great. Looking forward to this, and if I brought the rain last time, at least I get credit for the sun this time.
I'm going to go ahead and give you credit for that. Lee, what we have here is a program, really two programs, that are looking to do big things here in this 1A run right here out of Region 2. Let's start with the visitors from Monteverde Academy. They are only led by two lacrosse legends in Chris Spaulding and Brooke Sweet. Tell me a little bit about Montverde.
Montverde brought Chris in a couple of years ago. Chris had been the head coach at Lake Island Prep, highly successful. He had moved out of state with his family for a couple of years, came down and got hired back at Montverde in the same area that Lake Island is in, and has set about building this type of program. And it certainly is a Chris Spaulding type of program right now.
Yep.
Brooks was actually the head coach the year before when Chris came back, but they decided to sort of continue to work together, and Brooks also oversees the JV program.
Yeah.
And this is just going to be, you look at a game like this, Alan, and the thing that pops in the mind, it's almost like a final exam.
Right.
Final exam for Holy Trinity to see how well they've learned the material of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is going to be a little bit of a step up in the competition from what they've played so far this year, but hopefully they're ready for it.
Well, they can set history tonight with a win. They'd be the first ever Brevard County lacrosse team to advance to a regional final in either 1A or 2A. 2A, of course, introduced just a couple of years ago. When you talk about the Tigers, they're 17-1, ranked 20, 21 in the state. It depends on the poll you're looking at. But they are led on the offensive side of the equation by Dylan Gibson. Gibson is just a sharp shooter. And, of course, sophomore Andrew Turner. Those two guys this year, 86 goals, Gibson in the 40s. Talk about what you expect to see from Holy Trinity tonight.
Well, when you look at their statistics, the one thing that kind of pops out is that Gibson, even though he has a lot of goals, is also a feeder. And
30 assists, he leads the team.
Turner, on the other hand, seems to be the finisher of the pair. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. We'll check to see if Montverde has anything special lined up to take that sort of two-man game down. And we'll sort of get a feel for it pretty quickly, too.
Well, I think the thing that sets Holy Trinity apart this year, and the reason that they're here and being talked about in the same breath with a team like the Eagles, is the way they've played defense this year, Lee. They've only allowed 4 goals a game. Now, a lot of that has to do with the level of competition that they have faced. But in all fairness, Jack Combs, the Vermont commit, Justin Cole, the sophomore goalie, have all been – Hudson Sanger, they've all been exceptional this year.
You don't get this far if you can't play defense.
Right.
It's that simple.
Right.
And, again, we're going to see this is their test. This is really – you can hear the crowd. The crowd has got some nice intensity to it. They know what's at stake. Everyone on that field knows what's at stake. The head coach, the coaching staff knows what's at stake. And we should have a beauty tonight.
We're going to have John Glass. All he does is win 70% of his draws, going up against Jackson Bean in the circle. Bean around 60%, 58% this year. Holy Trinity has struggled in this category this year, Lee. For me, this is going to be a telltale indicator tonight how this one is going.
And sometimes it's not only about who wins a face-off, but making sure that the face-off doesn't turn into an odd man transition play for goals. So even if they're going to lose a face-off, getting back into the hole and forcing Montverde into a settled situation is what you're looking to do.
All right, we are set to go here, and we'll go through some of the other parameters as we get into the game a little bit. Caleb's on the camera. Jackson will join you in the second and third quarter. I'll be back in the fourth. We are underway, and Bean physically wins the draw there, Lee. Impressive start right there for Holy Trinity.
Yeah, very important. But now it's not just winning. You got to clear the ball and look comfortable doing it.
Yep, and Holy Trinity, this is Jack Combs, the long stick here. Boy, he is immediately checked there by Spencer Odier.
Well, it's clear that one thing that Montverde has come here to do is to ride hard and to not make the clears easy. Now we'll see if Holy Trinity sort of has the ability to do the same thing in reverse.
This is their guy right here, Aaron Williams. He leads the team in goals this year for Coach Spaulding. This guy is a sniper. He can put it up top, downstairs, on the ground, any way you like it. Aaron Williams can deliver it.
And we'll see if the coaching staff on Montverde is going to try to isolate. They're in a bit of an open set. Players are coming towards the front of the goal, and we'll see basically how they want to attack it. You get a good idea in the first couple of possessions what they're looking to do.
And Montverde will roll it back behind the cage in the X area there, and I like the fact that Holy Trinity stays on him. Nothing easy. You cannot give a team like this anything easy, Lee.
Just have to be careful not to allow open looks.
And Justin Cole, the sophomore, who's at a 73% clip this year in save percentage, grabs that shot.
That's a perfect first save. It was not a particularly well-placed shot. It wasn't particularly hard, and he was able to see it all the way and get a little confidence building.
And Jack Combs, and there's the plan there. They've already checked Combs several times, and Combs is limping, and if you're a Tiger fan, you just don't want to see that.
We'll have to definitely keep an eye on it and see if he can walk it off.
And this is Holy Trinity sets up here now with their real first opportunity. This is Julian Warden with it. He's one of those guys that makes this offense so potent this year. Down is Gibson. Gibson rolls in, pulls up, and they'll play it back across top of the arc area there, Lee.
I would expect that Coach Moore would like to have a lengthy possession to start the game, get his kids enough touches, and make sure that they sort of get into a rhythm on the passing.
Rolling in and working it back in the X area is Warden. Warden being checked. Fans in the stands, the referees in the stands want a cross-check penalty to the head there. No call coming. The whistles tend to get buried a little more this time of the year, Lee.
As it should.
Yeah.
And to be honest, parents probably call 30 of the 5 penalties.
Nice job by the Tigers here. That's Mick McCarthy back there. McCarthy spins, turns. That's Warden who fires. That's a shot, and that'll be Holy Trinity ball.
Yeah, he was a little bit off balance when he took the shot, but he did have a little bit of a look there. He just didn't quite get enough on it.
Gibson with 45 this year. Turner with 41, 33 for Pagliarini. Josh Romine, 25. That's the number of goals those student athletes have. And here comes Dylan Gibson. Gibson tries to work it inside, stops, turns, fires it back to the top of, I call the slot area, to Romine. Romine shot, and that one is an outstanding save by their keeper, the senior Edward Roth.
That's a
right
nice
back
look.
in front, and Roth comes up big, Lee.
Yeah, that was a great look. That was a very nice offensive set that Holy Trinity ran. So they should be pretty pleased with getting the inside look, even though they didn't finish it.
And the transition is unbelievable right there, Lee. Right back down the field and firing away with Spencer Odier. And that is going to be Montverde ball as the shot goes out of bounds. And they'll set up here as Spaulding makes some changes.
We'll see if they, in the past, the Chris Spaulding offense has tended to feature an awful lot of downfield dodging from middies. We'll see if they try to set that up a little bit too. Right now it looks like Holy Trinity's packing it in.
And Williams fires, and that goes in. And that's the exact shot Jackson and I saw Williams practicing. The same exact shot, Jackson. When everybody had come off the field, it was Williams that stayed on practicing that very shot, and he cashes in. It's 1-0 Montverde.
And the goalie did get a piece. So he was kind of tuned in on it. Just didn't quite get the stick in position quick enough. But, right now, just, from the first certain number of minutes that we've seen, I think Holy Trinity is starting to settle into this, and that was something that I was certainly going to be paying attention to.
Well, I think they wanted to know, Lee, could they play with him? They can. And another draw win for Bean, and Bean immediately transitions into the offensive zone, and here he comes straight down. It parts there a little bit like the Red Sea, and Holy Trinity will set it up.
Okay, we'll see basically if we try to do a very similar offensive pattern on this, try to work the ball around and see if we can find a soft spot inside and get a quick feed in.
Alan Slaughterzinski, Lee Rogenberg from Florida Lacrosse News with you here as Holy Trinity tries to roll it in. Short stick, that's Gibson. Gibson, the leading goal scorer, spins, turns. Nicely covered there by Zach Hobson, the leading defender for Montverde. Checked inside shot. Nope, that's a pass. Sorry, fooled me. Took my glasses off for a split second.
Yeah, it looks like one of the things that Holy Trinity is trying to do is they're trying to isolate basically from top left and see if they can get a dodge towards the right side. They're clearing away from that right wing, and we'll see if they're going to try to do this again, but maybe look for the pass if a slide comes this time.
Gibson again. They'll start all over. Gibson, nice job by the Eagles shutting that down. That's Gibson's move right there. Now back in X, gets it out to Powers. I'm sorry, Turner. And Turner loses possession. This will be Montverde ball. And back down the field they come. This is Jack Green with it. Green wide open. That slot area shot goes wide left, but the Eagles will keep possession. That's just too fast, Lee.
Yeah, that's unfortunately the trail check on that kind of went for the big swing and took himself out of the play and allowed a 4-on-3 that fortunately was shot wide.
How do you stop that?
Well, you don't reach.
Right.
You just put your head down and keep running so that you can at least take the stick, take the full windup away.
Now, we are having issues with the scoreboard here tonight, so there is no time or score being kept. You do have the score on your screen at home, and tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the friends and family of Holy Trinity as well as Florida Lacrosse News. We'll get Lee to tell us about Florida Lacrosse News coming up, and that shot goes high and into the back netting area, and I can't see, Montverde will keep possession, and this is Aaron Williams who has the lone goal of the game coming from the X area.
By the way, it looks like Jack's out there running around fine.
Yeah, it looks just a stinger there. Roll shot, and that was a perfectly placed shot by Seth Eisenhower, and it's 2-0 Montverde.
That's exactly the type of alley dodge that we were talking about. They do love to isolate up top and see if they can catch a short pole, get a step or so on that player and get the shot off. And as you said, pretty well placed, although it was stick side high, and sometimes if you don't guess on that, you're better off. You might have been able to get a piece of it, but this is what you have to sort of take away from Lake Highland, is taking away these alley dodges.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Lake Highland.
I knew who you meant, Montverde.
Sooner or later I was going to do that.
Right,
once.
right,
Yeah.
with Spaulding. Chris Spaulding, of course, spent years at Lake Highland Prep building that into a 4-time state champ. He's also a 4-time Florida Dairy Farmers Lacrosse Coach of the Year, U.S. Lacrosse Coach of the Year. And we've doted all over Coach Spaulding. Eric Marr's done a great job here as well. He's 58-19 in his 5th season, Lee.
Yeah, and it's just great again to sort of see these programs.
Yeah,
you just programs that have just been built the right way, and now you're seeing depth, and now you're seeing IQ, and it's just a very good time for the program. Yeah,
no doubt about it. And Holy Trinity will set up, slow down here, because inevitably, Lee, both times Montverde's got the ball, they're back down the field in the blink of an eye here. This is Gibson rolling, trying to roll. He does. Inside, no shot. Great stick check there by Zach Hobson. And that young man came in with 85 ground balls. He's a senior. And here comes Montverde. And Montverde is wide open in front. I mean, just nobody home.
Transition.
Just too fast right now, Lee.
Just have to be, you have to sort of keep your discipline as you're coming back to guard against the fast break. You got to make sure only one player goes towards the ball, not two, so you're leaving that back post open. And that's kind of what happened on that play. You just have to stay more disciplined and communicate. Goalie has to say, you take here, you take there, I'll take this. And they kind of missed that early timeout.
A good timeout.
I think,
good timeout by Eric Marr, as that goal, I believe, was scored by Cohen Woodland for Montverde. It was 3-on-1 essentially.
Yeah, and that's you practice that in the sport. It's such a common thing. Maybe during the timeouts we can talk a little bit about what to look for just in general on offensive strategy. You have situations where it's just like basketball. You're playing backdoor. You're playing two-man game. You're trying to get a half a step so that you can get to the net. Same thing in basketball too. Makes the layup easier. Right. The pull-up jump shot. Pull-up jump shot's just like step down shot in lacrosse. So it's the idea is to find mismatches.
Right.
And in this case, a 3-on-1 is an obvious mismatch.
Yeah.
And it's even worse when you leave the guy at the back post open. So, these are things you got to look at. Can Holy Trinity take away that fast break? Obviously, when you turn the ball over, like was just on the offensive end, that's a relatively easy breakout.
Right.
Because it's an isolated player out on the wing who there's no one to contest the defender who gets a free start on it.
I wanted to ask you, Lee, because next year football is going to a metro and a suburb division, and I don't. First of all, I don't like the program. If it all goes well in football, all the sports are going to roll to that in a couple of years. To me, something like that's going to halt the progress of Brevard County lacrosse because you don't get to play those teams. We'll never see Montverde again.
I don't think we're going to have to see it in lacrosse. I think that from what I've heard is the possibility that eventually districts go away and you get seeded by region.
That would be nice.
That would be excellent for lacrosse.
And I just the progress that Brevard County lacrosse. Now, look, I'm no expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I certainly have talked to enough people. And down there talking to Brooks Sweet before the game, Jackson Robb and I, we had a good conversation with him, and he's very impressed with the way things have developed. He was talking about Space Coast Lacrosse last year having 14 people come out, and then this year 56 people. So Brevard County lacrosse is coming.
Certainly is. Now, this is a big defensive stand here for Holy Trinity. They've got to not –
nice job by Cole.
Save. And he was able to get out just enough.
Oh.
That's the type of mistake you just can't make.
Yeah, Brock Schultz tried to run with that before he had it. Yeah. And this is going to be scooped up by Seth Eisenhower, who's got one of the three. Aaron Williams in there as well. Holy Trinity does seem to have a size advantage a little bit. They got to use it. This is Ryan Peterson with it. And they'll just take it back. And in the X area is Ed Roth, the senior keeper, with it. He gets it over to Peterson. Peterson will start it down the near side here, and telling him to go, 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 go is Tommy Barrows. And here comes Montverde again in front.
That's a nice play.
Made by
got to get the ground ball on that one, though. When you make a play like that, you got to get the ground ball.
Jack Combs comes up with it, the Vermont commit. And that's part of the plan. Jack Combs, get physical with Combs.
Yeah, he called that. They got to push from behind.
All right.
I don't know if it'll be possession or loose ball. We'll see.
Let's see what they call here.
Is a high-pitched scream an artificial noisemaker? Asking for a friend.
Brendan McCarthy doing a great job on the PA, as he always does here. As waiting to see here. Doesn't look like it.
It looks like it was, I think it was called with possession because they have the free clear into the offensive zone set up for the man up.
Boy, I'm glad you're here. That's Eisenhower taking some time off there in the sin bin area, I call it. I'd like to welcome everyone watching from both Montverde and, of course, right here in our very own home county of Brevard County. Don't get upset with me, those watching from Montverde. There is a reason it's called Brevard Sports Network. We do tend to lean one way, but we do try to call as fair a broadcast as possible. That's why I got Lee here.
Okay, it looks like Montverde's going 3-2, 2-1-2, kind of taking away making them pass around the outside.
Is it too early, Lee, for this to be a must-score situation for Holy Trinity?
Yes, it's more important to get a good look and a good shot. If it goes in, great, but you've got to at least do something that you can take away and build on.
All right. As Holy Trinity patiently, Gibson gets it back to Paglianari, and that's a bad pass there. Yeah. But it was
it
was Zach Hobson with a good job getting a stick on it.
So no shot on the man up.
This will be Warden. And this is Josh Romine with it. Romine and Gibson.
See, they've got 24 matching up with Gibson.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to
That's their best defender.
Yeah, they're going to have to try to find a way to get switches off that.
Holy Trinity now it looks like what they're trying to do is get a heavy advantage to one side here, and they just can't get it because it looks like to me, Lee, and again, I'm not sure, but Montverde is anticipating everything that they're doing.
Well, that's part of game film. Try to find tendencies of what offensive players like to do.
Nice job in front shot, and another great save by Roth. 2 minutes to go in the first period here, and here comes Montverde in transition. This time Holy Trinity appears to be back for it. Nice pass over, down low, in front. Cole gets a stick on it. Montverde will keep it.
No,
I couldn't see.
Goalie was the closest to the
All
ball.
right, way to go. Good play by Cole. I keep calling him Josh.
By the way, the shot
Justin.
on the offensive end, it was a good look, but just the wrong place.
Yeah.
It was right stick side high. Didn't change the plane of the shot.
This is Shopke with it. Shopke over to Romine or Warden. Warden with it.
Okay, let's see if they looks like we got a second midfield in.
Yep.
Matter of fact, it looks like the entire offense has been replaced, except for Romine, right?
Yeah. Yep. About a minute to go here. Also,
here comes Gibson.
Gibson's back in. About a minute to go here. Again, we're having scoreboard difficulties. I'll be relieved of my second and third quarter duties by my partner, Jackson Robb. I'll be back for the fourth quarter coming up. Cutting in is Romine. Romine back in the X area. Nice job by Holy Trinity. They got to get Mick McCarthy with it. McCarthy. Now, Lee, what's the rule if you have possession? That was a nice thing in front. If you have possession of it when the quarter ends.
Only if it's going to be a penalty situation. Otherwise, it's just a face-off.
Gotcha.
That was a good ride there to get the ball back.
38 seconds to go here.
I mean, you're seeing them get some inside looks, but they're too anxious. They're trying to shoot before they catch it.
Trinity trying to get something going here. Oh, almost had it there. That was Mick McCarthy. Ran a little too far out behind it. 10 seconds here. They got to shoot. They do, and it just goes wide. And that should come close to ending. And that is, nope, they say, come on, play on.
10, 9.
You hear Brendan McCarthy in the background. Gibson rolls in front, shot, bounce, just missed the top of the crossbar area. And it goes out of bounds.
That's a very effective shot when you can kind of get it down straight.
Ooh.
That high bounce shot. Most goalies are trained to go low. And if you can get that high bounce shot under the crossbar, you're going to score an awful lot.
And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter where on the scoreboard it was all Montverde. Holy Trinity can play with them, Lee. So, we'll see what happens here coming up in the second quarter. Goals scored by Eisenhower, Williams, and I believe it was Eisenhower, Cohen Woodland. Cohen Woodland, Eisenhower, and Aaron Williams with their goals. Now I'm going to Lee. You're real quick before I turn it over to Jackson. Your assessment of Holy Trinity in that first quarter. Summarize that for me.
Execution.
Yeah.
One word. Execution. They had looks. A couple of the clears. They had a chance to clear and just have to sort of settle down emotionally. Sometimes you get very hyped up for a game like this, and that affects your play a little bit. So if they can just if they can get the next goal, it'll be a very nice way to settle into the game and see if they can start to get back into what they do best. Well,
the broadcast is about to get a lot smarter lacrosse-wise. I'm going to bring on satellite freshman and our broadcast protege here, Jackson Robb. And Jackson, have fun, my man. I'll see you in quarter number 4. Turn it over to Jackson and Lee Rogenberg.
All right, so glad to be here now as we start the second quarter. Again, our score, Montverde 3, Holy Trinity 0. And, one thing I saw personally in the first quarter was Holy Trinity seemed a little bit stunned coming on. I feel like Montverde caught them on their heels to start, but now Holy Trinity kind of got regrouped towards the end of the first quarter, and now they're in a solid position to run with them.
Yeah, I think the important thing is continue to try to find the cutters into the middle. That's what seems to have been effective for them first in the first quarter. They didn't finish, but they were able to get the looks. And obviously, they've got to be very careful about Montverde going on a quick run and breaking this game into like a 5 or a 6 goal lead.
Glass had won the faceoff for Montverde. Now a ground ball here.
These are the 50-50s. You got to want to win.
Good save there by Holy Trinity. Goes right back to Montverde. Ball still on the ground. Eventually scooped up by the Tigers.
That's a good look.
And now Holy Trinity on a sort of fast break.
Don't force it. If it's not an odd man rush, no point. Not when you're trailing 3-0. You have to get really disciplined and get good looks early in the second quarter.
That is a key for sure. Make sure that you can get the best looks possible. Romine shot off the leg of the goalie, Edward Roth.
Same thing. Got a good look, but again, the position of the shot, it did really go kind of right straight into a stick. They've got to start to go high to low. They haven't really done that all game yet.
Now here comes Williams cutting through the defense like Swiss cheese. Now here comes, as there's ball down, scooped right back up by the Tigers. As now,
Jack's got a step. Now you got a 3-on-2.
Combs nearly took it coast to coast.
Wasn't quite there.
Gibson winds up off the crossbar.
Yep, it was fortunate that he didn't get trail checked. I'm surprised he got that much on it. It looked like the trail check was there. But again, that's what you're kind of looking for. Get something that you're used to shooting. But now, again, every single shot's basically been high. They've got to start to go low a little bit, too.
Yeah, that's one thing I know just from experience as a player. Coaches normally tell you to shoot low because, especially from that far out, if you shoot high, to some extent, you're just playing catch with the goalie.
Certainly.
It's a lot easier for them to make that save up towards their head.
Yeah, we always say the best shot is off, stick, hip high.
Now the Tigers still with the ball here. Pagliarini puts a shot on. Just misses wide right, scooped up. Now
they
it
called
was
an illegal procedure on Montverde, in and out of the crease. Ball back to Holy Trinity.
Yeah, it is a good thing for Holy Trinity setting up longer possessions, because the longer the possessions go, just the more looks you're going to get that are actually capable of scoring off of. And, for the Tigers, the quick shots can be good sometimes, but the more you set up your offense, feel out how the defense reacts, it's a lot better, especially when you're trailing here. Romine gets in, tries to put on a shot, defense collapses.
Yeah, that was a little ambitious.
But now here comes a fast break opportunity. Aaron Williams taking it down from Montverde. Inside. Oh, pass. Not a good pass there. That one.
Yeah, Montverde got fortunate on that one.
And they're going to immediately take it in, not going to take a second to wait.
Let's see if they, again, try to sort of isolate up top on a short stick.
For Montverde, leading 3-0 after the first quarter. If you're them, Holy Trinity is a team that can, they're not, I've seen them not be fazed by a lead. Montverde's just got to, keep up what they've been doing. Shot outside. What a save by Cole. Justin Cole makes the save.
You could see what Montverde was trying to do. They were trying to play a two-man game on the left side, and it actually kind of worked. It got Combs to sort of commit a little bit and gave the ball carrier the chance to get his arms free. That's something to look at also. One of the things that Williams is particularly good at is drawing a slide.
Now here comes the Tigers back on offense, taking it slow this time once again. No need to hurry. Just get your guys all set up. Take your time substituting, and now I believe the last time I heard was about 8 minutes to go here in the first half. Score still the same as it was at the end of the first quarter. Romine trying to get inside again, pass back up top to Gibson.
Got to get more off-ball movement. They're a little stagnant.
That's a good point. You always want to be moving. There's never really a time you want to be standing still on offense, even if, no matter what possession you're at on offense, you just want to keep moving to give those opportunities. Bounce shot there. Bounces over the goal.
Yeah, that was also, that's one of those 50-50 plays right there that you just have to come up with in a game like this.
I got a 3-on-3.
There's that back post again.
Holy Trinity's got to make sure they put a body on everyone down there, because it was a 3-on-3. There shouldn't have been anyone open if you play that right.
Yeah, that was just the ball didn't move crisply. We always say that the ball moves faster than the player. So get the pass out and do it quickly. Looks like we got 7. Yeah, we got 7 on defense. So this is a delayed 30-second penalty.
Williams trying to cut inside here, has a man taken right out of the air, but there's the whistle.
30-second technical for offside.
6:51 to go in the second period.
6:51 to go in the second quarter. Still 3-0 the lead for Montverde. Holy Trinity doing a good job in this quarter running with them, but after a while it turns from running with them to chasing after them. The more time runs off the clock. So for Holy Trinity, you want to keep doing what you're doing right now. Be stable with Montverde, but eventually you got to start putting points on the board, start having execution of these longer possessions, because Montverde's also having these long possessions that they are turning into points.
Yeah, and on offense, they really just have to they were taking their time, but then they were settling for some pretty mediocre shot attempts, and they've got to sort of just stay patient, even if it takes quite a bit more time, and make sure to get a really good open step-down look, which is what they're kind of missing right now.
That shot pulls high. Montverde will hold on possession, but that's a word that you just mentioned, patience for Holy Trinity. It seems like after a while, they'll pass it down, and then someone will make an irrational cut to the inside, get double-teamed, right in front of the goal, and just take a shot that sometimes doesn't even get off well, and there's a shot from the outside, and a goal for number 4, Jack Green, committed to Bellarmine, and Montverde now takes a 4-0 lead. And
notice the placement of the shot. It was a bounce shot. Didn't try to go high. Didn't try to do anything favor, but just get a good little spin on the bounce shot. And those things are very hard for goalies to handle. It's something that Holy Trinity needs to sort of get onto these shots too. Okay, we got Combs on the wing this time. I think that we're getting to the point where they have to get a goal or two just to sort of be confident that they can put goals up. We're at that stage right now where you could easily, it wouldn't necessarily be a blowout per se, like a 9-0 halftime lead, but another 1 or 2, if you can't respond, it starts to look harder and harder as the game goes along.
I mean, if you're Holy Trinity, you basically just want to cut off this momentum, because momentum for any team in any sport at any level is a dangerous thing to give, as we have a timeout for Montverde here.
Yeah, and that one, unfortunately, on the face-off wing, Montverde outnumbered Holy Trinity on that loose ball, and that was why they were able to get possession of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, that's the thing. It's just Holy Trinity right now, they got to limit Montverde's momentum, because you can't let them score in quick succession. If you're going to have to let them score, you got to make sure that you start putting goals in between them, or just cutting it off completely, because momentum can be a dangerous thing. As you said, it doesn't even have to necessarily be a blowout yet, but it'll start to pile on and quickly become out of reach as the game advances farther.
Yeah. And basically, this is the point of this game where it's 4-0. That's not out of hand by any means in lacrosse. So the thing is, now you sort of have to break it down. We have 5 minutes, let's say, left in the quarter. You make this a 5-minute game. Can we win the 5-minute game? Can we make it 4-1 or 5-2 at halftime? And then we come back in the third quarter and we say, okay, the first half of the third quarter, let's see if we can get within 2 goals. Just chip away at it. You can't try to get it all back at once, but that's when you really start to tense up, make bad plays, bad decisions. Defensively, they're playing okay. On the offensive end, they just haven't found their rhythm, and they're trying to force things that are not necessarily there.
Yeah, on defense, the one thing I've seen, though, that just a little thing is you never want to chase a player on defense. You don't want to chase them outside, but the thing with Montverde is some of their shooters have what seems like unlimited range shooting, and they can be accurate from farther out, so they just got to make sure they keep a body on those shooters and just make sure that they don't get space to take some of those outside shots, because
just
some of those
stay in the hands. Just stay on the hands when you're a defenseman. You don't have to reach. What you can do that really is effective is, as they're shooting, just reach out far enough so they can't follow through. That takes a lot off the shot.
Montverde here coming from behind the goal, back in the middle, one-on-one shot. Good defense, gets the check, and
no goal.
No goal.
In the crease.
In the crease.
Yeah.
Trying to follow through with the second chance shot, turns into a crease violation, and now Holy Trinity can flip that.
Give it up. You don't want your long pole out there where a potential transition occurs on a turnover.
Schultz with it.
Okay, now let's see how they approach this possession. We know that they want to get some sort of rhythm. They do have Williams trapped on the field on the defensive end. We'll see if they maybe try to isolate against him from up top.
For Holy Trinity, it's got to be right now. Try and close out this half in as good of a standing as you can, and that would start here. Most likely, you'd want with a goal on this possession. Tigers here just starting with some quick ball movement. Now they cut inside again, which is just not there.
It's just running right into the double team. That's the problem of a play like that. You've got to be a little bit more seeing and where the slide can come from.
As Montverde has just done a great job collapsing. That's one thing you want to do as a defense for sure, is collapse towards the crease. And now Montverde gets the ball back and turn into a transition.
No one moved off ball in that play in order to give him a target to get an outlet pass to, and he got double teamed, and it was just an easy turnover. They just have to react faster on offense when it comes to recognizing where a slide is coming from.
So now Montverde on offense going to try and move inside. Pass, gets the cutter, but it's snatched right out of the air. Great job by Holy Trinity there, cutting off that back pipe look. And a yard sale. Great check there. And now Holy Trinity will pick it back up, looking for a pass.
Might not be a bad time for a timeout.
Yeah, I mean, he needs help. And this is where you need to be moving. Everyone on offense needs to be moving. And just get this set up because it's just an odd start to the possession now. It might be a little bit off your game. Romine inside, pass, shot.
That was a nice look, just rushed the one-timer a little bit.
Romine going to take it in with speed. Pass inside, shot high by Pagliarini.
Again, that's one where he should have gone low. That was a great look. It was a great setup. It was a nice off-ball cut, but you got to finish it too.
You know, I think in order to try and pin these shots lower, I think what Holy Trinity needs to do, it looks like they're trying to shoot as hard as they can, not as much focus on accuracy. I feel like you got to try and hone these shots in, make them a little bit more accurate as they're the collapse by the defense. Fantastic again.
That's just, again, a bad decision because you just ran right into the double team.
And now here comes a transition. Long pole with it here from Montverde. Inside, one-on-one back pipe. Pass, shot deflected there. Now the goalie in there battling for it. And we got whistles and award for Holy Trinity. So now Montverde picks right back up with possession.
Again, very important here.
Shot wide right there. Montverde holds on to possession. Just under 3 minutes to go in the first half.
That was too good a look. Got to be just got to remember on a quick restart. Very dangerous period of time when you're in defense on a quick restart.
Drive inside here, jump shot. What a shot. And that's goal number 2 for Jack Green.
They were looking to discuss it. He called an interference. I think he called a moving pick on the dodge down the alley.
So no goal.
Yeah. See, give it up.
The refs in the stands want some more fouls, but that's what you're going to see. Lacrosse is meant to be a physical game. Every check is not illegal, although it may look like it. I mean, there's going to be plenty. That one will be a foul.
Well, he got bailed out on that one. That was, again, you run into a double team, and he was fortunate to get the call on that. The Holy Trinity's just got to pick up just got to sort of stay more patient. They're just trying to force into the middle against the stacked defense, and it's just not there. You've got to basically drive a little bit more on the outside, draw a slide, move the ball back, try to find these step-down looks. They really haven't had a step-down look in quite a while.
I think what Holy Trinity's been used to this season is just being able to run past defenders who haven't been able to cover those cuts. What Montverde is doing is just cutting that off. So Holy Trinity is just running blindly into double and triple coverage, which is hurting them immensely. And right now they just have to be patient. They're a good ball movement team. They just can't be taking these bad looks. And still, great job there.
There's a perfect example where you could have had a cutter down the middle when the wing player had the ball. Just didn't recognize the opening there in the middle. That's those little things that make such a difference. See, that was a low shot, and you got a rebound which unfortunately they didn't get the ground ball on. But, again, it didn't make it easy.
Crossfield pass there, a dangerous idea, which will go back to Holy Trinity.
1 minute, 30 seconds.
Minute and a half to go in the first half. Romine just going to try and cut through them. Good pass to the outside. Julian Warden steps back now. Looks for a pass. Will go behind the goal to Turner. Turner wraparound shot. No good. And
looks like he got legal body check.
That shot can be very, very hard to stop if you get that close.
I guess they didn't call it. They called it loose ball.
And we got a Holy Trinity timeout. Yep. Minute 14 to go in the first half. 4-0 lead for Montverde. Holy Trinity is starting to do a lot of things right, but the one thing they haven't been able to do is put the ball in the net yet. Still scoreless, and, you want to go into half with some, in good standing. And, I really think you got to start that with a goal here in these coming possessions.
I think the important thing, what we can look for in this possession is to see if they can work an off-ball cut from the right side into the middle of one of their lefties and try to feed them from the opposite wing. So let's see if that's what they try to set up here. A goal here would be, going in 4-1, I think would be great for their confidence because, to be honest, they really offensively have not played well yet. And if they can sort of get that going the way that they're playing defense, it certainly can make this a game. But right now it's very important to get back to a rhythm and what you really enjoy and like to do on offense, because right now that's being taken away.
Yeah, I mean, if they can start settling down, getting patient on offense, and just putting some points on the board, they can keep this one. Their defense has been solid enough. They can stop this team. And as long as they just start putting some production on offense, they can cut this lead down. You just can't let them keep running it up. You have to stop it here where it's at and start taking control on your offensive front.
Yeah. And also, one thing you have to sort of watch out for is that Holy Trinity's long poles have been doing a lot of clearing. And that tends to wear on you as the game goes on. So you have to be sort of careful also not to use up your energy and not convert. It's easier, it's just as smart to let the shorter stick do the clear, saving the long pole's energy if you're just going to go into a slower offense or a more subtle situation.
Because that can also become an issue there if you have the deep hole moving forward. Maybe a mistake happens down here, and then you got to chase them back on the transition.
Yeah. See, now here we had 21. He did a cut down the middle. But see, they're trying to keep the ball out of the stick of Gibson. They're basically playing him with a short pole everywhere he goes, while the other players are playing a little bit more of a matchup man-to-man and staying inside.
For this last minute, Holy Trinity, I think they can take the whole minute, take their time here, and just try and get the last shot and put on a good one here before half. As I said, now under a minute to go.
Better spacing, too. Some of these players are getting too close to each other.
Good job getting the ball in Gibson's hands. Montverde keeping it tight. Is there good deflection there by the goalie? 20 seconds remaining in the first half. Turner.
Again, let's get someone cutting.
Yeah, there is no movement off ball right now, and with as little time as there is, you're going to have to get something. 10 seconds now, and loose ball goes to Montverde. They're just going to try and get it down here. 2 seconds to go, so this will just be a heave, and
just heave it at the goal.
And that will end the first half. At the end of the first half, Montverde leads Holy Trinity 4-0 in a tight first half. And, Holy Trinity doing a lot of things right, but you got to clean up a little bit here in the second half.
You have to say Montverde put on a defensive clinic in this first half. Forget the fact that there's no goals scored, but you also have the issue of not really being able to get many open looks, taking away. They obviously scouted the offense very well. They're taking away a lot of what Holy Trinity has used over the season. I think if I'm Coach Marr, maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to try a little inverting maybe my best midfielder, take him behind the net, let him try to create a little bit, but make sure that you have plenty of cutters for him to see.
I have a question. Can you guys hear me okay? I know you can. You're standing right next to me. Alan Slaughterzinski, Lee Rogenberg, and Jackson Robb here. Lee, Jackson's a freshman at Satellite High School and part of a program that is, like a lot of programs in Brevard County, up and coming. Based off of what Holy Trinity's the exception in terms of the boys' programs go. I mean, we had Vieira, who lost last week 18-4. I don't think there was any surprise there on how that went down. But in your opinion, and I know maybe I'm kicking the dead lacrosse horse here by continuing to ask this question. We've got the athletes. We've got the talent. We play year-round. What are we missing?
Time.
Yeah.
It's that simple. It's just time. You go back 10 years.
I'm impatient.
Yeah. You go back 10 years. Was the Northeast competitive? Was Ponte Vedra 10 years ago? Was really starting to finally break out. But a lot of the other programs were still sort of struggling along on their growth curve. I mean, this is, if you have the athletes, you have the coaching, it's just a matter of IQ at that point. And I think we saw a good example of it in the first half here. The offense, the IQ of Holy Trinity on the offense was lacking in the first half. They were settling for bad looks. They were settling for trying to run to double teams. And this is where you see a double team, whoever's the free guy has got to move to an open space.
Right.
And they're just not recognizing that and doing that.
All right, Jackson, so let me ask you this. As a young man that played the game for the first time this year as a freshman, what would you like to see? How would you like to see the sport progress? What is it that you feel as a student athlete here in Brevard County you need to make the sport better?
I just feel like in the county we just need a little bit more depth of just teams that are capable of doing what Holy Trinity is doing right now. Holy Trinity is
better competition, you mean?
Yeah, and just some. I mean, it will come with time, but just some more teams to step up, because we had Cocoa Beach and Vieira, which were solid programs, but not capable of making the leap yet. And then we have a lot of teams that are just off where they need to be at this level, be able to make these runs, be able to make the playoffs. So for Brevard, it's just more of depth, more than just the Holy Trinities and the Vieiras. We need all the teams to all come around and just become more than just competent, become teams that teams get worried about playing that are out of Brevard County.
I was talking to a coach today from a team here in Brevard County, and, if you look at the year that Brevard County had, obviously Holy Trinity would be 1 in terms of lacrosse rankings. Vieira would be 2. I would think that Cocoa Beach would probably be 3. And what a job Shawnee Irvin did over at Melbourne this year to bring that program back. I think if I was giving out awards in terms of programs that comeback program of the year, Shawn Irvin and Melbourne gets that for what they did there this year. Cocoa Beach, I love what, they're doing there. But the scheduling, Lee, Holy Trinity, I understand they got to go out of county next year. This is a private school. Maybe hop on an airplane and go to Baltimore and give it a shot.
Well, I don't know if they'll quite go for that
yet. How else?
What you can do. I actually talked a little bit to the coaches before the game, and go play Pinecrest, go play St. John Paul, go play maybe Benjamin. These are the type of programs that you use to get to the next level. It's no secret. It takes time for a reason.
Right.
And the reason is you have to learn how to win. That's also a missing piece that a lot of people sort of sometimes forget about, is that a lot of teams can get close. But getting over that hump and taking that last step to the finish line is always the hardest 5% left to learn.
The other thing is student athletes. I want to see student athletes. Lacrosse is a beautiful sport. If I had it all over to do again, especially with the way my body feels at 52 years old, maybe I would have taken my friend's advice and played lacrosse instead of hockey. I love the sport. I just wasn't a big runner. But but our student athletes, I want to see them play the sport to play the sport, not play the sport to stay in shape. There's a difference in commitment there, guys.
Yes, absolutely. Although when you watch the girls' game, it doesn't seem like there is that difference because they're running more than the boys.
Right.
So it's, without question. I mean, you have to go into the game understanding it's not just to play the game at this level. It's what do you need to do to get that last 5%.
Right.
And that's the extra practice. That's the extra watching game film. That's the diet. That's the stretching. That's the weight room work. All those things come together over time. But, again, this is perfect. To me, this is fine. If Holy Trinity loses 8-1,
right,
this is still a major step.
Yes, it is.
For this program in this area. And I think people need to sort of understand that just because you had a 17-1 record doesn't mean you're ready for a state championship run
Gotcha.
yet.
Right.
And so I want people to understand that what they're seeing here is miles ahead of what you would have seen 5 years ago.
Let me ask you this. The girls, congratulations to the Edgewood Red Wolves. In Jackson, you covered that game for us last evening. I've heard a lot of people say today one of the best boys or girls lacrosse games they've ever seen. Edgewood scores with 21 seconds to go to win it. And Edgewood becomes the first program, boys or girls, in Brevard County to make it to a regional finals. And, look, I coach, what's coach's name? Clark? Alan Clark.
Eli Clark.
What's that?
Eli Clark.
Eli Clark. Coach Eli Clark. Congratulations and good luck because, up next is the major step up. You only got to go play the number 2 team in the country. So good luck.
Yeah.
I don't know if Edgewood can give them a game, but I'm excited to watch them play.
It'll be an incredible experience for those girls, whoever, for who all's coming back. And, for that team, it's going to be the hardest challenge they may ever face on that team. Playing, Lake Highland Prep is just, they are an incredible team, but that's just experience. And that's part of what we're talking about, scheduling. It's just playing these teams. And for the people that come back, the starters, they've played the best of the best in some respects. And now if they want to kind of get, the tour back and try and return, they've already kind of seen what they might have to face. And, it'll be a big game for them. It'll be a learning game. Give it all you got, but then make sure, you take a lot out of it.
Lee?
You said it all.
Yeah, he does. He does a good job, don't he? In your program this year, Jackson, I thought the Satellite girls had a good year. Vieira goes on the road last week and gets a win. So, I'm extremely excited for the future of Brevard County lacrosse. And, guys, in this one, as we get set to start the second half, I'm going to turn it back over to you, Jackson. As we get set to start the second half, Jackson, give me a key that needs to happen for Holy Trinity to get in this thing.
They need to get that offense working. They need to slow it down a little bit and just, stop making simple mistakes, stop running into double teams, because the defense is playing good enough right now to limit Montverde for the rest of this second half. Their offense needs to start pressuring them and kind of get them, worried, because right now Montverde is seems like they're a little bit too comfortable with that offense not being able to execute.
League goalies used to get in our heads in playing hockey. You put 30 shots on him and couldn't score, and you didn't want to shoot against him again. Is Eddie Roth in the heads of Holy Trinity right now, or?
I don't think it's that at this point. What they're doing is they're out of their comfort zone when it comes to where they're shooting from. They're a little bit further out of where they're taking the shots from when they get the shot off.
Right.
And then also, as we said during the broadcast, the shot locations need to improve quite a bit too. There were multiple stick side high shots that the goalie just easily ate up, and that's not getting in a goalie's head. That's just not paying attention to where you're putting the ball.
All right, I'm going to turn it back over to Jackson and Lee and Caleb here. But before I do that, guys, turn back around here. I want a good picture of everybody here. Ready? 3, 2, and 1. 3, 2, and 1. There's another one of those brand new shirts. And Jackson, by the way, before we go back, I got to thank your mom here. I want to thank Jennifer Ward. for these beautiful new shirts we have and these awesome new bags I'll show you tomorrow. Jennifer, thank you so much. We look like a broadcast crew tonight. So back to Jackson and Lee.
So with all that being said, here we go, getting ready to start the second half. A 4-0 lead for Montverde. And, for Holy Trinity, this is nothing out of reach, but they cannot start slow in the second half. They need to, turn it up here to start the second half because, for all you know, you got to make this, for them it's like a 0-0 game. You got to make this like a fresh slate, but you got to go out there and give it everything you have because everything you got, is definitely going to be helpful.
Just break it down to segments. Try to win each 4 or 5 minute segment. Just get back in the game one goal at a time. Get into the fourth quarter within reach and take your best shot there.
Bean initially had won the faceoff. Now the ball up in the air, back on the ground. Battle for it. And
good 50-50 win there.
Win by Combs. Jack Combs, the Vermont commit, wins it. But now a deep hole going back on attack, tosses it outside.
Looked like he might have had a step there if he had gone down the middle.
And inside, those deep hole shots can be
very tough for
punishing.
a goalie to read.
You just got to make sure you get the good look. Now
let's see if they try to change their angle of attack a little bit. They had a little bit of success getting looks coming from the left wing.
Wind up shot
right in the stick side.
That is not
exactly what we were saying.
Williams here going to pass it up.
It was a good look. It was perfectly okay to take the shot, but the location was just, can't put it there.
Defense got to respond here in the transition. High pass, hauled in, inside. Right down on the crease, pass. Tough pass there with pressure. That one will roll out of bounds. Holy Trinity ball now.
Okay, again, let's see if that last possession makes it a little bit easier.
Holy Trinity starting off with now a second possession of the second half. Got to put something here. Great check there, getting on the stick. But the ball's still down. Got to finish with the ground ball if you're the Eagles.
That was a smart play. Kick it out to where you've got the numbers.
But there you see the Eagles aren't trailing on defense, but they are following them outside. They're not going to give them space. Holy Trinity is giving the Eagles space on offense. Again, you never really want to chase, as coaches will say. If they're going to back up, you don't want to chase them and be right on them, but you do want to follow them and make sure that they don't set up a good dodge on you. Leaner shot there, very good low shot by Warden.
Called a late
great
hit.
Save, and there's
called a late hit. You got to. One of the things that a lot of teams, and even I've noticed coaches, have sort of overlooked this year, coming into the season, the people who oversee high school lacrosse came out with basically what are we going to emphasize this year, and one of the things was that late hit on a defensive player. And a lot of teams are still playing it as if it was previous year's rules. And you get a call like that, which really was not necessary for the Montverde player to do. All he had to do was just keep the shooter from extending his arms, and that would have been an easy possession change.
And now Holy Trinity is man up. And, what you want to start doing here in these man up opportunities, not force shots, but take shots, kind of get that goalie off. And, set up good plays where – when you're man up, you just want to set up plays that allow good shots. That one tries to get snatched out of the air by the goalie.
Spacing is still a little bit of an issue up top, but that was a good look. And it went low. Unfortunately, the Montverde player recognized for the run out faster than the Holy Trinity player did on offense. But again, they've got some looks now. Now let's see if they can keep Montverde off the scoreboard and start to convert a couple of these. You can convert a couple of these, and it's going to turn momentum around if it's at 4-2.
Montverde now most likely want to try and run out this penalties. They are still man down as they roll on transition in the offense. Instead, he's just going to run all the way inside. Pass up top, one-on-one.
Big miss there. Wow. Big miss.
That's one when you're one-on-one with the goalie. 9 times out of 10, that's a goal, and you gotta put that on. Got to put that on the cage.
And short.
And that shot, what a save by Cole.
Huge save.
Somehow, Jack Green slipped through that double team. Again, Green, the Bellarmine commit, and now as they are all even, I believe.
Yes, we got 6 on defense. Okay, so now now we've seen what they've tried to do. They've been able to get some open shots from down low near GLE. So let's see if they can sort of keep looking for that. Maybe drive from up top, draw a slide, and try to kick down low. See if that's what they've kind of discussed at halftime to try to emphasize.
So now Holy Trinity just going to roll around here, get some good ball movement set up.
Now notice that 24 is not on Gibson this play. Let's see if they try to, well, fortunately left the ball behind.
And that'll be
they got a slash
on Gibson.
Top of it.
Yeah, that one didn't really need to happen. And that's a bad trail
That's
check.
a bad idea.
Lucky,
Fortunate.
there's another flag there. Holy Trinity's putting themselves in a hole, 1-on-1 shot, goal, and that was a very, very rough possession for Holy Trinity. From bad checks on defense to the goal by Jack Green. That is his second of the night.
We're going to be 2 men down too.
That is a huge mistake, and that's something our coaches would emphasize. One of the flags seems to be waved off, but still, one down is bad. 2 down can be just brutal, as it's just survival of the fittest down there. With
again though, one of the things that was a mistake on the transition was trying to do the wrap stick check from behind. If the player feels that and protects the ball, you're out of position, and sure enough, there's a man left wide open on the side of the crease for the easy conversion. Just have to be a little bit smarter on those types of plays in transition and not try for something that is particularly might look great if it happens, but it only happens 1 out of every 10 times.
And those wrap trail checks, those are basically meant to be last-ditch efforts. When you really aren't going to catch them, you can run with them for a while. That is not meant to be your first resort, because that can lead to slash. That can just lead to you getting beat. And that is definitely something you don't want to get into a habit of doing naturally.
Plus, the ball carrier cannot reach back to fire the ball.
So now 5-0 lead for Montverde, and
we're going to have one. The slash is going to be served. Looks like they waved off what was probably a 30-second hold.
But, I think one was waved off, possibly also due to the goal. About 8 minutes to go in the third quarter, and Montverde gets the first goal of the second half, which is something Holy Trinity did not want to see. It's now on the face-off. It'll go to Montverde.
Okay, this is kind of gut check time. Got to be careful not to lose your poise and start to try to get it back too quickly. Just play your defense, get the ball back, kill the penalty, and then just take it from there, one step at a time.
For Holy Trinity, you cannot get caught on your heels here. I know it can be, kind of, scary to look up. Well, not literally look up at the scoreboard as they are having difficulties, but point being, you just thinking, we're trailing 5-0 the clock. You don't need to worry about that. You just need to play your game, because lacrosse is a sport that, can the score can change quicker than many other sports in lacrosse. It's just very fast moving, and if you start developing a run or some momentum that can really make you feel confident, you just got to have confidence. You cannot feel like you're getting behind here. The mindset stays the same.
Okay.
That was just... Yeah, that was not a good look there on the clear.
Yeah, you worked hard to get the ball back on the run out, and then you just turn it right over.
Those are the mistakes, little things that Holy Trinity's going to have to start limiting. Great move there, taking it down the field.
Okay, it's all even, so they accomplished one thing. But now next thing is keep them off the scoreboard on this possession.
Good job there by Holy Trinity, limiting the transition opportunities there. Did put bodies on players.
Okay, Montverde has trapped a short stick behind the net.
Shot there. Good save by Cole. Going to quickly clear it, and Combs got to secure that. Pops it up. Good play there to Christopher Moore. Pass. Quick ball movement. Don't want to keep it in. What a save.
Right into the stick.
Eddie Roth. And, that's what you have.
He should have faked it and cut across the face and had an open net.
That would definitely be ideal. Yeah. When you're in that one-on-one, you don't have to rush the shot. You have all.
No.
I mean, you are playing.
And you've got to fake.
Great steal there by Combs. One-on-one, and that was a forced pass shot.
Finally.
And Holy Trinity will get on the board. The goal by
23.
Jake Paglarini. It was a dangerous pass, but Paglarini converts. There's how you do the one-on-one. You're playing with the goalie at that point. It is your...
And he went low. And he went low of the shot.
He went low, and that, you see how much that that makes a difference here. It's now 5-1 to Montverde. Now if you're Holy Trinity, turn this into a run. Win this face-off, go down and try and score again.
Or at least
set up a good opportunity.
Set up a good opportunity, get back to rhythm. No rush. Plenty of time left to get back in the game. Plenty of time.
No rush needed. You just don't want to give Montverde any...
If you have an odd man rush, you take it. Otherwise, you go back to what you do best.
Bean wins the face-off.
Someone's got to go to him. He's being double-teamed. Someone's got to go to him.
He's got to look for help. Someone's got to give him help, and he's going to keep backing up.
Okay.
Paglarini picks it up, pass outside to Warden. Now they're going to try and set up. They're still substituting. Yeah. Normally this is where you see like yellow and try and slow it down, but they're just going to keep moving. Now Warden will slow it down, move back to the top.
At least there was a recognition. Paglarini cut for the middle there, but wasn't quite open enough to feed him. But at least he did it. He recognized it.
Gibson going to try to set something up. More movement. Interesting shot choice there by Gibson.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of a frustration shot.
Keeps him with possession, though, so McCarthy take it in from the corner for the Tigers. They'll move it back to the top now.
Okay, now this is where they got a couple of looks early. If they were able to cut across the right side, if they clear out the other wing. Now he's isolating, but he's got two people in front of him. So someone has got to flash out.
Good move there by Paglarini, but there's just got to be more movement. They got to keep providing help. You got to go to the ball. You got to help out your player.
Go to X. Get back. Get behind the net. Make Montverde look away. Try to get a backdoor cut.
You want to keep moving it around. If you don't have to, you don't want to keep the ball.
Here's the double team. Got to get it. Someone's got to go to him.
You don't want to keep the ball in one player's stick for more time than you have to. You want to keep moving the ball. Pass inside. Warden. The defense just collapses. Warden still had it.
That wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Just didn't quite get the pass in the right location for him to continue his burst. Now you got to be careful here.
Fast break.
Don't leave the guy on the post.
Pass down low, one-on-one shot. What a save by Cole. Saving the low shot, getting on his knees.
Holy Trinity is a little fortunate there because Williams was wide open coming down the middle and they didn't see him.
Now here comes Holy Trinity with a fast break. Combs pass to Turner. And now they'll get forced back out.
Okay, good decision. Good decision. It wasn't there. Take it back out.
Montverde playing them on their hands. They're not going to give you that shot down there. You're going to have to settle to back up and not try and do it all yourself. Pass, and that is a big miss there.
Yeah, that hurts.
Montverde will get a clear opportunity here.
Okay, we're kind of getting into this part of the game where if you're Montverde, you're perfectly happy to take a longer possession, take some of the time off the clock, see if you can get the defense moving and, find a way.
Oh,
That's
what
just
a shot. What a shot.
Yep.
Paints the top right corner in the goal by Spencer Odier. His first goal of the night puts Montverde right back up by 5, 6-1.
And that was off stick.
Odier with the goal, and that was just beautiful. Rolls right around. Yeah. I mean, if you have a shot like that, it's all right to go high, paint the top corners, but it takes a very sharp shooter.
Well, you have to make sure it's not on the stick side. Otherwise, you've just turned the ball over. And basically, because you've come out from behind the net, you've given the goalie a chance to start transition, too.
6-1 the lead now for the Eagles. On the face-off. Yeah, that'll be a push on Holy Trinity. Yeah. So now Montverde will start with possession again.
Timeout.
We have a timeout for the Eagles here as they lead 6-1 here. I would say later in the third quarter. We don't have
3:06 remaining.
Just over 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, and the time continuing to tick down on Holy Trinity. They got that first goal, but then Montverde responded fairly quickly. So now if you're Holy Trinity, you got to build some momentum here. You got to get something going. As the more the clock runs down, the less opportunities you're going to have. and you're going to need some longer possessions to set things up. That's okay, but the less time you have, the less time that you can take on offense.
Well, again, there's still plenty of time. It's not a matter of you've got to score within a minute or so each time you get the ball. They've struggled all game long with any sort of rhythm. They really have not spun the ball around the back of the goal. They've really done almost no attacking from behind. And that wouldn't, again, we mentioned at halftime, maybe invert a midi and throw a little bit of a different wrinkle and see if you can get some off-ball cutting just to sort of change it up. Because right now, Montverde has found a defensive rhythm. They pretty much have taken Gibson out of the game. And even you will notice that 24 on defense is not guarding Gibson right now. They've gone back to either another long pole or even they've got the defensive midi on them. And that's where, if you're Gibson, you've got to recognize when you have the short pole, and instead of trying to come back out and up, take them behind the net. Throw some different wrinkles into it, because right now they've got to get Montverde's defense to start to think. Right now they haven't had to think very much. So, that's the first step on offense.
We're going to do something a little different here coming up in the end of the third and into the fourth. Alan Slaughter-Zinski, Jackson Robb, Lee Rogenberg from Florida Lacrosse News with you. We're going to have a three-man booth, just like Dandy Don, Frank Gifford, and Howard Cosell used to. Who you want to be, Jackson?
He doesn't know who any of the three are.
Go ahead, Jackson. Take it away, bud.
All right, here, so 3 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Those guys died before he was alive.
Yeah, right?
Montverde now just keeping it. They have no need to rush in any way on any side of the ball at any time here for the rest of this one. Holy Trinity just got to keep playing that tight defense.
Tried to draw a penalty there. That didn't work. But notice that when he sees the double team coming, he ran away from it instead of trying to split it. That's what we talk about on the IQ side. Just something as simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a very, very skilled player, which a lot of these guys are, but just to beat a double team on a team like this.
And as the playoffs go along, you're facing better and better defenses, too.
Montverde is going to have one of the best that we'll see. So now, but here comes Holy Trinity back on offense. And just, I feel like you can even just change one little thing, whatever that may be, because Montverde's in this rhythm on defense where they've kind of figured Holy Trinity out. But if you change one thing, again, whatever that may be, different rotation or more cutters or just more movement as a whole, something just to throw the defense off, you could definitely make a strike.
I have an idea. The goalie. Roth has been incredible tonight.
Romine, he is going to roll around back, has a step, roll around, shot. Oh, jump shot just off the post.
Got to put that on net. You've got to put that one on net.
Warning, going to drive in. That was a good low shot. That one near
it was
perfect,
off the post.
Just couldn't get it on net, and that pass just throwing it away at that point. Yeah. And that'll go right back to Montverde.
That's a killer possession. They had good looks, didn't complete it, and just a bad pass turned it over.
About a minute to go here.
Yeah, you don't want to start throwing the ball away there. You want to make sure you connect on these passes. Now Montverde on offense, got the ball situated at X. Now rolling around to the outside.
See, they're behind the net. It keeps them from getting double teamed. It gives them a chance to run off some clock.
For Montverde, ideally, you run out the rest of the 1 minute of the third quarter, maybe put a shot or two on goal, and just try and ride some momentum. For Holy Trinity, you want to shut them down here. Good job snatching that one out of the air by Jack Combs, but immediately double teamed.
Jack's got to be careful not to try to do too much here.
Now you got to take it down. He can't be afraid to pass this one away. There he will.
Now look at the cutter.
30 seconds remaining. 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Going out back to McCarthy. Got to connect on those passes quicker. McCarthy back up top to Pagliarini. Under 30 seconds.
20 seconds remaining.
Now 20 seconds. Pagliarini just going to wind up shoot. That's not the shot you want.
Just a little too, again, probably just a little further out than he's used to taking that shot from when he's curling towards the middle.
You don't want take desperation shots. You want to take good coordinated shots. Gibson,
there you go.
And there's your shooter finally getting an opportunity painting the corners. Gibson from low to high with the goal.
Changed his plane. So important in shooting. And you could tell that the goalie went down with the stick, and he just happened to stick it. And the most important thing from that shot also is he was on balance.
Yeah.
He was not trying to shoot that off balance.
The old rule of thumb, gentlemen, they say it. You can't give up a goal in the final minute of the period or the quarter period or the first minute of a quarter and period, and there it happens. Maybe that's the momentum Holy Trinity needs heading in. They've cut the lead to 4 here, Lee and Jackson.
You definitely want to ride. You definitely want to just put yourself in a good position going into the fourth, especially the fourth quarter of all. And that's a good way to do it with 8 seconds to go. So it's just going to be a quick turnaround. Bean just going to try and run down here. Ugly pass there.
That's okay, though.
And that's the end of the third quarter. Our score, Montverde 6, Holy Trinity 2. Only a 4-goal differential here. And a fresh 12 on the clock for the fourth quarter.
All right, Lee, let me let's go over this bracket here.
Okay.
We got 1A
you said
here.
you were going to pin me down, right?
I'm going to pin you down tonight. Here's where I do it. All right, we didn't get a winner from you last week in 1A. Now that you've had an opportunity to see some of these teams play and you're here tonight, up top, who do you got coming out of that up top bracket area?
Oh boy, we're going to have to go with Bowles to come out of Region 1. In Region 2, Benjamin and St. Edwards, I got an update over there. I think it's 8-7 at the half.
Who was winning?
Probably Benjamin. Benjamin was up 5-1 after the first. The game's being played at Benjamin. The last score I got was 8-7. Winner of, I have to say, the winner of that game is probably going to beat the winner of this game.
Really?
Yeah. Then you've got St. Andrews. St. Andrews is up 5-0 after 1 on Pinecrest. I don't have an Oxbridge Berlin score yet. St. Andrews is definitely the favorite to come out of there. And you've got Jesuit was up on Canterbury, big in the first half. Community School was up 4-2 on Cardinal Mooney last I saw. By the way, if you follow us on Twitter, a lot of people are posting scores there.
Are they at Florida LX?
Florida LX, yeah.
Right.
So right now, it's hard to say. Jesuit's the favorite. I don't know if they're the overwhelming favorite. I think we're coming down potentially to a Benjamin St. Andrews championship game. And the
2A's right behind it.
Well, I was going to say the interesting thing about that is that for as good as Benjamin has been, they've never beaten St. Andrews in the varsity status. Okay, Ponte Vedra. I haven't seen Lake Mary Creekside yet as far as the score is concerned. If it's Lake Mary Ponte Vedra, that's going to be a heck of a game. Ponte Vedra is probably the slight favorite, but Lake Mary has given them grief in the past. Winter Park is definitely a Final Four. Plant, I think Plant is the favorite definitely to come out of Region 3. And St. Thomas is still the slight favorite over Jupiter in Region 4. I would say we're probably coming. I'm gonna go a little off the board here. I've got a suspicion that this is Plant's year.
Plant?
In 2A.
A Tampa team. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not anything we want to hear in Brevard.
I'll probably get about 8,000 complaints.
That's all right, Lee. I'll make sure to direct them towards your email.
It's Alan at.
You're right. Yeah. All right, let's give it back to the man, the myth, the living legend, Jackson Robb.
The Reaper Bell is being rung here at Holy Trinity. The fourth quarter set to be a good one as we have a false start.
Okay, that's the first step.
Holy Trinity here. Your number one thing you want to do here, you want to have a solid offensive possession.
Get a good look.
You want to have a solid, longer offensive possession if you have to. You just want to put some good shots and, just have not too quick. You don't have to rush anything. You still
guess
have.
What? He went to X.
Good look.
We haven't really seen that. And he
Roman
got a
rolls
great
all the way
look.
around shot.
And he drew a penalty. Probably got a, let's see if it's a slash or a hold.
What does that mean?
Looks like a slash. 1 minute slash.
Okay. That's not what I thought the ref did there, but
it was a nice isolation, Alan. That's the thing. They isolated behind the net for the first time. They gave the Monteverde defense a look they hadn't seen, and he got a great shot off in front, just didn't hit the net with it. but we have the man up here now.
It's a beautiful night for lacrosse here at Kelly Stadium, Ford Field.
You know, if you're Holy Trinity now, you want to try and start taking advantage of these man-ups, take a few more shots, orchestrate them well.
Got to do some interchanges, too.
You have the upper hand.
Got to get this, guys. They got to get this one.
Yeah, I mean, even if it...
Oh, he was right there. He missed him.
And wind up shot by Warden, saved, and that is not what you want to do.
Oh, they had number 25, was it?
He was wide open in the middle.
Open in the middle.
But now, mistake on the clear goes back to Holy Trinity. Turner, ball down. Romine, they got to scoop these up. These are wide open.
That's a terrible ground
that
ball.
Might be nerves. If you're Holy Trinity, again, just keep the same mindset. This is not a different game. This is still yours to hold on to. As a loose ball, this is one of those 50-50s. Who wants it more?
They've got a long pole trap.
They're coming. Here they come.
Putting Combs on offense. Interesting.
5 on 4, 6 on 4. There it is.
Pass down low, shot by Combs, and that's a goal for Holy Trinity. As I mentioned earlier,
Yep.
those long pole shots can be
Jack Combs
punishing, and Jack Combs, the long pole with the goal, cuts the lead down to 3, and this is that slow chipping away you talked about lead. 6-3 now, as it was 6-1.
I've seen this script before. Last year in the district championship game, Lee watched Holy Trinity come back from 4 down against Cocoa Beach.
That would certainly make this crowd alive and jumping. But the nice thing about that fast break is that they were able to protect the 3-on-2. They got the loose ball, and they had trapped one of the long poles on the offensive end from Montverde, and it became a 6-on-4 in transition. And Jack was smart enough to stay in the middle and to be ready to take the pass.
We're about to find out the better conditioned team.
That's certainly, obviously, that's one of the things we didn't really mention is that it was a pretty warm day. And you get to this time of year, and a lot of teams have not really played a warm weather game.
This is the guy right here, Jackson Aaron Williams. He's something.
Williams cutting inside. Floater shot. Saved by Cole. They're going to try and quickly move it up.
Boy, they got lucky on that one.
You want to, but you got to secure these ground balls. These are.
You got to be smarter on the outlet.
Tim Kelly going to scoop it up for Holy Trinity. Another good opportunity here on offense. Good job by Kelly.
Get your personnel on the field and set it up again. You've got a little bit of momentum. We're starting to get a little more let's see if they go back to X.
For Holy Trinity, one thing they also got to do, complete with the fundamentals. Make sure you got good passes, good catching, good scooping. Just simple things because, I mean, just later in the games, if you get more tired or even a little bit more nervous, you may tend to stray away from the fundamentals. Make sure that's, objective number 1. Make sure you can do the simple things well.
They can bury this possession here and cut it to 2. I think they start to get in the head a little bit of Montverde. I mean, an experienced team, a very good team nonetheless, but I think Montverde thought they'd be a little further ahead at this point.
Yeah, they did. They had plenty of opportunities to convert and blow it out to a much bigger league, and that can certainly come back to haunt you. So he's now going back to X. He's got the long pole back there. Okay, kick it out. Keep moving. Make the defense move and work.
Yeah, there's no reason. Just keep moving the ball around. 9.5 minutes to go is the last time update.
Okay, again, it looks like they've found something they're happy with there.
Warden winds up and finds the corner. Here comes the Tigers. Julian Warden. What a shot there. Going not.
That was number 6 on that one.
Julian Warden. He goes to the goalie's offhand there. Finds the corner. That's a beautiful shot rolling around the goal. Makes it 6-4.
Here we go, boys.
Again, though, patience on offense, and they got a shot in rhythm. That's what was missing, the shot in rhythm. And that one, he got his hands free as he came around the net. They found something going around X and coming out the other side. The slide is not coming quick enough, and they're getting open hands to get that shot. And now if they were smart, they're going to keep running that play, but they're going to start sending cutters down the middle from the opposite side, too.
Just under 9 minutes to go in this one. Good play there by Monteverde. The long pole going to pick it up. But now they got a big opportunity here. 1-on-1, wide open down low, and that's a miss.
Yep.
Holy Trinity got caught on their heels there. That's wide open on the back post and a goal for Montverde.
Got to be careful when you're a wingman on these face-offs,
ODA with
not
the
to
second
get
goal.
beat the way that happened there. You have to be, sometimes you have to be a little bit more conservative in the angle you take to the ball.
That's an answer if I've ever seen one there.
But in like not even a twisted way, but if you're Holy Trinity, it is okay that they score fast. They didn't run any of your clock off. That was a quick goal.
Yeah.
Now you're back at midfield for the face-off. Now it's back in your hands for Holy Trinity, able to make a play here.
Well, again, now this is you've got to really be bearing down on concentrating on these.
7-4 lead for Montverde. They win another face-off. Glass passes up here. Now Holy Trinity's got to get set on defense.
Got to get back. It's 5-on-4.
Cannot leave anyone open. Williams, great shooter.
Okay, they got back. But now you're going to start to see Montverde try to take some time off.
That's where Holy Trinity, you want to chase them out there, but you do want to follow them. You want to put some pressure on. Press them a little bit so they don't get any good dodges set up down the alley.
Notice that they're taking the short stick behind the cage, too.
Good move. We got a foul there. That'll be on Holy Trinity.
It's going to be a hold in all likelihood.
Not great for Holy Trinity. Drive inside shot. What a save
That's
by
a great
Cole.
save.
Oh, he didn't secure it. And that one.
That's going to, I don't think that's going to count. That should be goalie interference on the shot. It'll just be a penalty.
Justin Cole has done a terrific. He's a sophomore. I want you to keep that in mind. A young man is a sophomore. We've got some outstanding goalies here in the county. Jackson Lynch up at Vieira, the transfer from Jupiter. Justin Cole. I tell you, I like where that position's headed in this county.
This state has had a history of producing goalies at the college level. Yeah. And it's also long poles, and it's just it's really amazing when you look around the NCAA Division I. You know, starting goalie at Duke, Florida kid. Starting goalie at Army, Florida kid. Starting goalie at Cornell's, the Plant kid went up to Cornell as a freshman, has been playing now. And in the past, we've had other excellent goalies that have made their mark at Division I too.
But now with that penalty, man down for Holy Trinity in possession, right back to Montverde. So now for the Eagles, they're going to want to try and take advantage of this. Holy Trinity's just got to
first things
stay
first.
on the hands.
First things first. Keep the ball on the outside. Let him shoot from outside and hope your goalie comes up with a save. Get the man back.
Yeah, no matter the defensive set, if they try and get inside, you got to collapse immediately.
Notice they're interchanging on offense. They're running players through. They're not letting someone get stagnant in the middle. They go in the middle, they pop back out.
Ooh, the wind up there, drops the ball. Ball down, great scoop. Oh, one-on-one shot, pulled high there.
Yeah, they're fortunate there because they got trapped. They tried to double team the ball carrier, didn't get the ball, and it left the guy wide open for the shot.
ODA could taste that hat trick. He just shot it before he had it.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, Holy Trinity can't be blind to that back pipe. They're leaving people open down there on these possessions. That's a dangerous spot. Now Williams will take it back. All even, it looks like here.
Yes, all even.
7 minutes to go.
Lee Gordy Wappler says 12-1 Oxbridge against Baleen Jesuit.
Ooh, what a save by Cole.
Not terribly surprised.
Pick up shot, goes high. That was a desperation shot.
Thanks for the update.
Yeah. Oxbridge and St. Andrews, they have played some real battles over the years.
Yeah.
So now Montverde behind the goal. They are all even now, so they can go back to kind of running some clock. Roll back, good cut, shot, saved by Cole.
He's just reading the ball beautifully right now.
And now they're going to pass up to Combs as they
Okay,
have.
you got
Combs
five.
does have
You
a
got
goal.
numbers 5-on-4, but 21's got to run. You can't stand out there. That's
Gets in the
it.
hands,
Down
gives
the
it
middle.
back to goal. What a play! And the goal. The long pull with the leading scorer.
Ball moves
Jack
faster than the
Combs.
player.
Jack Combs cuts it back to 2, 7-5.
When you need a big goal, go to your NCAA commit, Jack Combs.
And a beautiful,
And most importantly, run the fast break properly and quickly.
a beautiful assist by Gibson. He didn't take it on himself. He's a shooter that might be, very tempted to shoot that. A beautiful feed right down the middle. He saw Combs with a wide open shot, and Combs takes
And he
advantage.
put the ball in the right place for the pass. Jack didn't have to reach for it. He was able to basically gather and shoot in one motion.
St. Thomas is up 8-1.
Here at the face-off, it's a battle as it always is, scooped up by Montverde. And remember, their response last time was fast.
Got to be careful there. That could have been a minute penalty. Don't need that at this point.
Yeah, you want to limit the penalties. You got to be physical with it, but you got to limit.
It's got to be in the play. It's got to be.
I've seen
for some reason.
I've seen teams shoot themselves in the foot with those penalties. Yep. I've been on a team that shot themselves in the foot with penalties. And
okay, so we've got a we've got a 2-goal game. Now it's just play a smart defensive possession.
The Holy Trinity defense just got to stay ready because Montverde's going to
St. Andrews, I'm sorry.
Start to run clock, but also they're going to want to put some more points on the board. 5 minutes to go in the game. A 2-goal game will get you nervous if you're Montverde. So they're still going to want to put points on the board, but their number one thing is running the clock. So Holy Trinity's got to be ready for both fast-paced and some slow offense. Williams, a great shooter, cutting through the defense. Oh my goodness, Aaron Williams.
Yep.
He just sliced through that defense. That's just hard to stop. I mean, that is a very, very talented athlete. He cuts through the defense, brings it back up to 3.
35 on the year for Williams. Now, and I'm sorry, Lee, that was St. Andrews, not St. Thomas. It's up 8-1.
And a play like that, sometimes you get late in the game. The defense is a little bit tired, and you're sort of able to recognize a little bit of a spacing. The Trinity players have used up a lot of energy getting back in this game.
Coach Billy Mims from Florida Tech basketball told me once that a lot of times, teams exhaust the energy in the comeback and have nothing to take the lead.
Yeah, that's basic. That's very true in lacrosse.
And now here comes a long pole shot. That one's too far out. He's trying to put a shot on goal, but that clear is just not.
No,
you got to clean
that
up.
Clear.
And now here comes Montverde. They hold on to possession now.
So that's a good example of an in-game adjustment, what you just saw there, where the goalie has been making that lengthy outlet pass up this sideline all game successfully, and I'm sure that the coaching staff of Montverde said, if you see a save and you're out, shade this way and see if you can sort of pick off that pass or at least make it difficult.
So now Williams cutting inside again. Montverde's cut off Gibson for Holy Trinity. Holy Trinity's got to try and cut off Williams for the rest of this one, I would say, as he is doing a great job just cutting through the defense. And their defense has been solid all game, but especially what Alan said about that comeback effort tiring you out for being able to take the lead. Holy Trinity's just got to with 4 minutes to go, you're trailing by 3. You got to turn it up to 111 here, and they're capable. Williams steps back here. No rush for Montverde. No shot clock in high school. They got all the time. They have all 4 minutes to do whatever they want with it.
We coming with a shot clock anytime soon, Lee?
ODA shot
I think we're a ways away from that.
ODA's shot goes high there. Montverde still holds on to possession.
I think that most of the top programs in the state would be perfectly happy to try it because of its effect on getting kids ready for the college game. But I just think that it's still a little bit early for that in this state.
One little mistake there. Pass goes high, but Montverde picks it up and keeps possession. Aaron Williams going to drive inside. Shot. And a goal by Williams, and that just slips past Cole by.
That was a perfect shot.
Yeah. Could be the dagger.
He takes it left-handed, off-hip, bounce shot. Just can't place it any better.
Hat trick for Williams, and he threaded that ball in there basically by the width of the ball past Cole. That's an accurate shot, and now a 4-goal game under 4 minutes. Holy Trinity is now starting to enter that time where they don't have time to waste. They have to put up possessions, strong possessions fast.
I've definitely seen this script before with 4 goals in 4 minutes. Tigers have done it. Well, look, Cocoa Beach is good, but they're not Montverde, so they definitely have their work cut out for them here.
Holy Trinity cannot get overwhelmed. This is still in reach. You just can't get nervous. You can't get overwhelmed because it's a big spotlight in the regional semifinals, down by 4, but there's no in it.
Every possession's got to count.
For sure. They have to immediately. They got to win faceoffs. They got these ground balls have got to be theirs. They have got to be theirs, and this is just an easy scoop for Montverde.
Unfortunately, the Fogo was stepped on
and
couldn't
timeout.
Compete.
Good timeout by Montverde.
Here's where it gets kind of tough also for Holy Trinity Chase. we're playing on the unified field. The unified field means boys and girls are using the same size because we had the game here or wherever it was previously. And it's wider, it's deeper behind the goal, and it's still 30 yards out from the goal. So it's just more space that the defense has to chase inside the box. And when you get down to maybe where it's a keep it in stalling call, it's harder to.
I wanted to let everybody know out there, maybe you're watching from another school where you don't have the NFHS network and your program is advancing. Reach out to Brevard Sports Network. Last year, we ended up covering St. Ed's all the way until the Final Four last year, until we couldn't anymore. So if you're interested in having Brevard Sports Network come and broadcast your regional final matchup, email me or give me a call. Caleb will put the information up on the screen there, and we'd be more than happy to do that. I'm sure. I don't know what Lee's schedule's like, but I know Jackson and Caleb will be free because, well, I'm going to tell them to be free.
Well, also, if you have the NFHS, lobby the school to get rid of it.
Yeah, right. I'm what Lee said.
Trust me, as I tweeted out earlier, it's easier to follow a Hitchcock thriller
Yeah,
than an
right.
NFHS lacrosse broadcast.
That's funny. And true.
That's my Howard coach. Or my Dandy Don tonight. We'll have to give Jackson a little bit of a background.
Yeah, we will. Yep.
So now Montverde with possession here. Clock rundown. Holy Trinity got to put on the pressure here. Every ground ball's got to be theirs. Every bad pass has to be theirs. See, Holy Trinity going to be pressuring them. But now, yeah, they got to turn it up to 110.
Yep.
There's Montverde using that space you talked about. They're just running back and forth.
Plus, they don't have to keep it in the box yet. We're still not down to 2 minutes.
And Williams slips there. That's got to be Holy Trinity's triple teaming. Could be dangerous, but it's good. But Williams sports out.
That's a big-time play right there to get out of a triple team and reset the offense.
2:30 remaining, 2:30.
I personally have been inside of a triple team. It is scary.
And those are one of those things that don't show up on the scoreboard or on the scorecard. But it's an invaluable skill to have when you're trying to run clock at the end.
Yeah, Montverde doing exactly what they need to do right now. Just keep moving the ball. But again, every opportunity, Holy Trinity running out of chances. Good.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
that's a penalty. You can't hit a guy on the ground.
That was unnecessary. You had a good check to start. Now you just hit a stick or just make a move.
If you have him on the ground, just go for the stick. And don't go overboard.
And now they're man down with little time. That is that could be sort of a dagger.
I didn't catch if it was 30 or a minute.
Just an unnecessary check there.
2 seconds remaining.
2 minutes to go, and you're man down. If Montverde scores here, that could be dagger.
Even if they don't, they're probably taking enough time off the clock, even without a shot, and just grind the game out. I'd be very surprised if they took a shot that was not right on the crease.
There's just no need. They don't need to hurry. They don't need to pretty much do anything.
No, just make the defense run.
Oh, there's a pass inside, doesn't connect, but Montverde picks it right back up, shot. No good.
I'm very surprised that they took that shot.
Montverde, you just want to hold the ball here at least, good pump fake, but still not needed. There's a good shot. What a save by Cole. That
penalty's up.
Got to be Holy Trinity.
Penalty's up, 30. So it's 30 seconds.
They got to go.
Got to go. Come on.
90 seconds.
No stopping here with 90 seconds to go. Stop looking back. You got to look forward. That's a bad pass. Ball down, scooped up by Pagliarini. Got to do something here. Turner, one-on-one. What a play by the goalie stepping out.
Wow.
Beautifully.
I mean, Roth has done it all night.
Yep.
Roth stepping up when it matters, but that pass will be thrown away. Holy Trinity ball back here, but Roth recognized a one-on-one shot that he didn't want to have to defend.
I suspect, as I looked at the stats today, that something was amiss with Ross when he only showed a .478 save percentage. They're not here at 12 and 6. It didn't seem up to date.
No, but remember the schedule also.
and pass down there. I mean, that play by Roth might be dagger shot.
It
goes
probably
high.
got lit up in the McDonough game, and that certainly hurt the
Yeah.
percentage.
Yeah.
But, as I mentioned, though, that experience of playing McDonough and those shooters, that probably helped Roth mature as a player.
Sure, absolutely.
But, that play, I mean, under a minute to go, 40 seconds.
As we wind down here, guys, obviously Montverde's going to get the victory. So let's start to recap this thing a little bit. And Lee, I'm interested in getting your entire synopsis here on what Holy Trinity got out of this tonight. And I'm extremely proud of the guys. I thought they played a great game. They just ran into a better team tonight.
Yeah, and we kind of assumed that they were the underdogs coming into the game regardless of the seeding. But I think that you can take an awful lot away from this game, most importantly, the compete level in the second half. I mean, we've talked about compete level multiple times, and it's really important when you get down in a game more than anything. And I think that in general they found a lot of good to take away from this. And, it's still a relatively young team, got a lot of players coming back. And we'll see how they progress. Kids will get bigger. They'll be in the weight room, get stronger, smarter.
I thought the one thing for Holy Trinity tonight was I thought they came out, and I'm trying to think of the right word too. There wasn't an intimidation factor. I thought they came out and kind of admired their opponent a little bit at the onset. In terms of, we're playing these guys, we know history. And then I think they just fell too far behind, 4-0. And by the time they had to come with the catch-up, I thought if you take out that first quarter, I think Holy Trinity ran step for step with them until the end of the fourth. I was extremely impressed with them.
It was, I'm not sure I would put it quite exactly that way. I think what I would say is that they came out not sure of really what they were going to,
there you go, right,
to get. And things went against them in the first quarter. But as the second quarter went on and the defense kicked in and kept them from extending the lead, that started to turn into a little bit more confidence. Obviously, we got to the halftime. They hadn't scored yet. But the important thing is that they felt they were in the game at that point. And then that turns on a different level of competitiveness mentally. It's easy to compete physically.
Right.
Competing mentally is the tougher part.
Jackson, I want to ask you played for Satellite this year. It was a tough year for the Scorps. Obviously, you guys, I don't know any other way to put it. You guys got beat pretty good on a couple of occasions. As you see a team like Montverde, what'd you take out of tonight about watching this game?
Both teams played a very complete game, and Montverde, they just got ahead. And as I mentioned in the second quarter early on, what Holy Trinity needed to do was keep running with them, not start chasing them. And as they got late, Holy Trinity started chasing behind. And
What impressed you as an actual high school lacrosse player? What impressed you?
Just the way these teams could adapt. I mean, because Holy Trinity was trying to change some things up, so was Montverde, and a lot of the defenses, they adapted very well to a lot of changing. Either of these teams could have got ahead more by making a switch, and the defense couldn't respond. Also, the goalies were both impeccable tonight. I mean, they made incredible saves, as Cole has all season, and Roth apparently has made a lot of great plays too. It was just a lot of adapting and a lot of just big plays. Not even just on the offensive, not a lot of necessarily big play shooting, but big defensive plays, and the goalies just stepping up. Making sure for Montverde keeping Holy Trinity behind, and for Holy Trinity, they kept Montverde in reach for as long as they could.
All right, that's going to wrap it up here tonight. Lee, we'll see you Monday or Tuesday on Brevard Sports Network as we recap what happened the rest of the week here and look ahead to both the girls and the boys' Final Fours coming up. Congratulations to Monteverde Academy and Coach Chris Spaulding as they will advance to play. Excited. Lee, what got to take a 2-hour drive back down south. Thank you so much for coming up.
No problem at all. I very enjoyed it. Good to work with Jackson, too. Here.
Yeah.
We'll see him one day in my nursing home days. I'll be watching him, kind of do,
Mine, too.
do his let's tell a little quick story.
Sure, go ahead.
The evolution of a sportscaster.
Okay.
I moved down here in 91.
Okay.
Hank Goldberg was on WQAM. He did the afternoon
Hank Goldberg.
drive time. His two assistants were John Shambi and Bob Wishuzi. His first two, this is our first job on the rung to becoming sportscasters, right? We used to listen to Hank make fun of the two of them.
Right.
Bob is now a senior ESPN broadcaster doing a lot of college football and other sports. And Shambi was, I believe, the Yankees play-by-play guy for a while.
He was.
And is a major ESPN Major League Broadcasting guy.
I got one for you here real quick. I've hosted several radio shows. The first one I hosted here in Brevard County was on WMEL, old WMEL radio. And the guy that owned that station, John Harper, brought me in and he interviewed me and he said, yep, you know what? We're going to go ahead and put you on the air. You host a sports talk show this day, this day, this day. And as we got to talking, he said, I've mentored. He said, I'm not a sports guy. I'm a news guy. Been in the business 45, 50 years. He says, but I've mentored some guys that have gone on to do some pretty big things. And I said, you know, just out of curiosity, like, who? And he said, well, one I think you may know is Chris Myers.
Sure.
And that's all I needed to know. And whatever John Harper and Vern Harper told me from that point on, I did. So we're no Chris Myers or John Shambi Jackson, but listen to what we're telling you, son. And he does. He's outstanding. Lee, thank you so much.
Thank you, too, Al.
Jackson, Rob, and, of course, this broadcast would not have been nearly as good tonight without what Caleb Brown did producing it. He did an outstanding job tonight. You had a beautiful picture to watch from. And we also want to thank the friends and family of Holy Trinity Athletic Community. So for Caleb Brown, Jackson, Rob, Lee Rogenberg of Florida Lacrosse, I am Alan Slaughterzinski. Once again, your final score here tonight, Montverde 9, Holy Trinity 5. There it is. Have a great night, everybody.